Howdy folks, I'm Fidgety Figgy Pudding, futilely fighting food-flinging fugitives.
I'm Amber.
And here are more food-flinging fugitives for us to fight. Why not? Why not have a food fight? That's what the Christmas spirit is all about. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Taking My Girlfriend's Best Friend to a Concert Instead of My Girlfriend? So, I'm a 27-year-old male, and I recently won big on sports betting, around $15,000. My girlfriend Sarah, a 25-year-old female, has been with me for 2 years, and we live together. Her best friend Jessica, a 26-year-old female, is a huge Sabrina Carpenter fan. Well, here's where I might be the jerk. Sarah had to work late for an important client presentation this week, and I knew that Jessica was devastated that she couldn't get tickets to Sabrina's sold-out show. I surprised Jessica with tickets without telling Sarah first, since I knew that she couldn't get away from work. These tickets were really expensive, $19,000 in total. Jessica was over the moon, excited, and we had a great time at the concert. Nothing inappropriate happened. We grabbed dinner before and enjoyed the show, and I dropped her home right afterwards. Pure platonic friend vibes. Well, when Sarah found out, she completely lost it. She said that I betrayed her trust by taking her best friend on what could be seen as a date, and that I should have told her first. She's especially mad because she likes Sabrina too, though not as much as Jessica, and feels like I should have waited for another show so that we could attend together. I tried to explain that I was just trying to be nice, since I had an unexpected windfall of money and I knew that Jessica was a super fan who was crushed about missing the tour. I had no ulterior motives. Sarah isn't speaking to me, and now Jessica feels terrible about the whole situation. I genuinely thought that I was doing something kind for a friend who was disappointed, but now I'm wondering if I crossed the line. Sarah and I have never had trust issues before this. So Reddit, am I the jerk for taking my girlfriend's best friend to a concert without discussing it with my girlfriend first? Alright folks, what do you think?
Yes, you're the jerk. Why did you never mention this to your girlfriend if it's so innocuous and innocent? Like, either one, OP knew it was going to look bad and decided to hide it, or two, he had nefarious intentions and decided to hide it. Like, I don't see how this wouldn't come up in casual conversation if he thought what he was doing was perfectly a-okay.
Well, especially the best friend who's going to be like telling the girlfriend about this because like they're best friends, so they're going to relay this information. It would have been better for OP to be the person who was saying this than the best friend, because that's really at that point in time looks like it doesn't pass the sniff test or something like that. It doesn't have good optics.
Yeah, none of this looks good. Like, and I'm not saying you can't go, as platonic friends to a concert. You absolutely can, but to do it behind your partner's back without letting them know anything, that gives serious bad vibes. And why is he so insistent on doing this for the friend, specifically when his girlfriend can't be there? Because they could have waited for a different show and all three of them gone together.
Yeah. Well, and also, look how much of the percentage of the windfall he spent on this, right? Well, I'm guessing like the tickets, it was $1,900, and so I think like that was probably both tickets. At least I'm hoping.
Hopefully, but even as such, as you mentioned, like that's such a huge part of a $15,000 windfall. You know, $2,000 out of 15.
Yeah, but it's a huge percentage, and the fact is that has he ever spent this kind of money on his girlfriend, right? And if the answer is no, then I could understand why she would be jealous about this. This wasn't like I saw a little souvenir for her that I thought she would really like. This is a grand gift.
Right. Well, and why is he so eager to blow the windfall? Like, this probably could do things for him and his girlfriend to set themselves up for their future.
Yeah.
And he's just spending, a bunch of it on concert tickets.
And I think, like, if he was really this interested in getting her to go to the concert, what he should have done is gotten tickets for all three of them, or tickets for the best friends, right? And then that way, they could have gone together and had a good time. She would have still been able to go as a super fan, and maybe OP wouldn't have been able to go in that case, but if they had bought tickets for all three of them, then I think that would have been a really mutually agreeable situation, right? And OP didn't even bring this up with their girlfriend and was like, hey, I'm going to want to go to this concert. Do you want to try going with me, right? They didn't even give them the option of trying to take the time.
Right, like maybe she could have gotten time off from work or something, switch shifts with someone, But instead, OP made the decision for her that nope, she can't go. I'm just going to go with her friend.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck.
Let's ask the wheel. Wheel, do you have secret insight into this situation?
Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk with zero self-awareness.
I mean,
The wheel nailed it. Good job, wheel. Good wheel. And Secret Sister Sarah says, you won a huge amount of money, true, but you also spent a huge chunk of it on a surprise gift for a girl who's not your girlfriend without telling your girlfriend, and took her out to dinner as well. It definitely sounds like you're trying to win points with Jessica. You're the jerk. This would crush any woman. Your girlfriend was right. You should have waited for a night when the three of you could go, or at least ask your girlfriend first. Looks like they came to the same conclusion. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Learn My Boyfriend's Parents' Language? I'm a 27-year-old female and I've been dating my boyfriend, a 29-year-old male, for a little over a year. We met through mutual friends and immediately hit it off. To this point, our relationship has been nothing but great, except for this one story. My boyfriend was born in Poland, and both of his parents are Polish, but he went to international schools growing up and has been living in the US for the past 8 years. That means that he speaks English like a native speaker and only speaks Polish around his parents or other family members. I've never met his parents because they still live in Poland, and I work a very demanding job, so we never really have time to go and visit them. But this year I got promoted, which also means more free days, so we will be going to Poland around Christmas and spend like 2 to 3 weeks there. Since we first decided to go, I have been super excited to meet his family and discover the country that I grew up in. Here's where we started to have a problem. My boyfriend asked if I could start learning Polish before we go to Poland so that I could communicate with his family. I completely understood why he would ask me this, and I have no problem with the idea in itself. However, for multiple reasons, this would be complicated for me. So I said no. He got a bit confused and asked why, so I explained. First of all, we're leaving for Poland on December 19th, which is in 2 weeks, so there's no way I'll have time to learn a language in 2 weeks, especially since Polish is pretty difficult. Also, I currently have a lot of work to do before I can leave for the holiday, so I have very little time to spare. And lastly, I've been asked by my company to learn Italian for professional reasons. So I'm currently learning, and I feel like starting a new language now would make me all tangled up in my head. So I told him that I could learn some simple words and phrases, but there's no way that I would be able to communicate with his family members in Polish in 2 weeks. Also, for some context, both of his parents speak English pretty well, and some of his other family members too. And I suggested that he could translate for us if needed, but he doesn't want to do that. He got angry at me and said that I was being disrespectful to his family and that I wasn't making any effort to understand his culture. He went on a rant about how Americans never make an effort to speak other languages. I speak 3 languages fluently and I'm learning another one. He even told me that I should just stay here and not come with him for the holidays. I don't know what to do. I can understand his point of view and I try to make an effort, but what he's asking me is just not doable. I don't know if I'm in the wrong here. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. 2 weeks is not enough time to learn a whole nother language. And I think if this was something that was really important to him, that you learn the language before going to Poland, he needed to convey this months, if not like a year ago. Because it's one thing to learn a few basic conversational phrases. It's another thing to learn enough of a language to be like conversationally fluent. I studied Chinese like in high school for 4 years and I am not conversationally fluent.
I think that his demands are pretty unreasonable here. They've been dating for a little over a year. A little over a year is not enough time to become fluent or maybe even conversational in a language, right? Now, OP also may be very quick on picking up languages. It sounds like that they have already 3 languages under their belt and maybe a 4th language coming soon. So it could be that they're just very quick at learning languages and he feels impatient that she's not trying harder because he sees her as being able to pick up a language very quickly. This is not OP's problem though. Like if he wanted this, then this should have been something that would be working on for months at this point in time, right? And I understand his frustration, but his demands just aren't reasonable at all.
Right. Well, and like I get wanting your partner to be able to speak to your family, but that would usually come at a point in time where you're serious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been dating for just over a year. It doesn't sound like they're thinking about getting engaged or anything like that anytime soon. Like I feel like if they were to get engaged and OP were to be like, "Yeah, I'm not going to make any effort at all to learn your language or your culture or anything like that would be a jerk move. But not wanting to learn your partner's family's language, partner of a year's family's language in the course of 2 weeks is a very reasonable thing.
Yeah, but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Character Twist 1409 says, Info, did he ever express a wish for you to learn Polish before this? Did you ever consider learning Polish before? I'm just thinking that it's a bit late now, but I don't know why it hasn't come up earlier unless it was just a casual thing before. You might want to consider waiting to meet them if they will judge you for it, and also since this demand seems a bit much at this point. And OP replies, we never really talked about it, but I had been thinking about it for a while. I like learning languages, and I probably would have started if I didn't have to learn Italian right now. And Liz Mixes Mocker says, even if you wanted to, there's no way that you can speak Polish in 2 weeks. You really can't do much more than learn a few phrases and maybe some numbers. Even the numbers 1 through 10 are going to be challenging for an English speaker. And OP replies, yeah, I've started looking into it. I wanted to be able to say hello, my name is, and even that is so hard. And I'm not even talking about the pronunciations. And Kerfuffle Thump says, it takes a while to get your tongue around Polish. Pronunciation isn't as easy as, say, learning to speak Japanese or Spanish. And OP replies, yeah, it sounds nothing like the other languages that I've learned thus far. French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian. So I'm struggling with it. But I think that being around native Polish speaker will help. At least I hope so.
So OP speaks 3 languages in addition to English.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, to be fair, Spanish and Portuguese are really, really close. So those 2 languages, like, they probably wouldn't have a really hard time learning Spanish and Portuguese together. And the Romance languages, French, Italian type of languages, they have a lot of like common words and stuff like that that mean similar things. But I'm not saying like it's super easy or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's a lot of overlap between some of these languages here.
Yeah.
Still very, very impressive. Beyond impressive, right?
Yeah, like when they were talking about the numbers, it's like I can write the numbers in Chinese through like 999 and I can sign 1 through 10. I cannot say any of them because pronunciation is hard.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for shaming an American for only knowing English after he mocked me for mispronouncing an English word? I'm French and I live in Paris. My parents are both from Spain and raised me speaking Spanish. And I taught myself English through reading novels and news in English. So I'm perfectly trilingual. My American friend Max, who's spending a year studying at La Sorbonne, only speaks English. He often uses me as a French translator for him, and he tells me in English what he wants to say, and I repeat it in French to his interlocutor. Today, I said awry like oh rye. Max found it to be the most hilarious thing and kept making, in my opinion, mean jokes about, OMG, can you imagine being so bad at English that you pronounce awry? So, after a few minutes of him laughing his butt off at my expense, my patience ran out and I told him, we're both speaking English because it's the only language that you know. I learned English by reading it, rarely hearing it spoken, so of course my pronunciations won't always be flawless. How flawless is your French pronunciation? If you don't cut it out right now, then I will speak to you exclusively in French and only acknowledge your answers when you say them in French, and it better be flawless. If you make any grammar or pronunciation mistakes, however tiny, I will mock you endlessly. He did stop mocking me, but he pivoted to, geez, get a sense of humor. There was no need to be so nasty to me. Why would you dangle your multiple languages in front of me? That was mean. Am I the jerk for saying what I said? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. It seems like somebody can't take what he dishes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, OP didn't even do that. OP was just saying, this is what's going to happen if you don't stop mocking me, which was a very reasonable approach. I mean, I'm a native English speaker, but there are still words that I learned through reading that I have mispronounced. And there's no shame in that. And I think it's really gross to shame someone for for learning new words, because they're not pronouncing them.
Oh yeah, I mean somebody who, I mean, you shouldn't throw stones in a glass house, right? And that's really what this boils down to. Like, he was making fun of OP for not saying an English word correctly. There really wasn't any need for that. And certainly, like, a joke needs to be funny to everyone involved. And clearly, at this point in time, OP felt like this was mocking or bullying him. And instead of apologizing and being like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just having a little fun. I didn't realize that it bothered you. He doubled down and was like, you just have no sense of humor.
Right, because he was belittling OP to feel superior, and when OP points out, hey, actually, I know more languages than you, now that's a threat to him. OP's
Mm-hmm.
like waving his superior skills in his face, and it's like, dude, none of this would happen if you weren't mocking your friend to begin with.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
You won't believe the word that's always spelled wrong in dictionaries.
Wrong, WRONG?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the dad joke, right?
Yeah.
And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and our guidance, and please have it in the form of a ticket to a concert, an expensive concert.
The ticket is a gift from OP's girlfriend to a Rihanna concert, and the only song that's playing is Take a Bow.
There you have it, folks. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgy. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Figgy Pudding. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Figgy Pudding. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Figgy. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Figgy Pudding, futilely fighting food fingering flinging fugitives. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Figgy Pudding. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Figgy Pudding, futilely. Howdy, folks. I'm Fidgety Fig.